thinking about it.
Okay, so this is a known be known slot. I have not done a known be known slot for, I think last time it was last Christmas last year. So it's been a while since I've actually done a known be known slot. So the idea of a known be known slot for our guests today is that I kind of introduce who I am, a bit about my past, so you kind of get an idea of who's this guy or woman at the front of the room, one of our community, one of our members, and it's about educating the group in my known subject as a gift. It's like we're having a picnic and this is my best dish. Okay? And then from there it educates you, it gets you understanding what I'm about. Am I the kind of person you might want to collaborate with? Am I someone you want to meet with and discuss something? Maybe you've learned something you can take away and use. So one of the things we say about known be known session, if I share this with you, you know, out there in the world we say if I share this with you, don't use it. But here we say if I share this with you, you better use it. So this is my gift to you, and it's what I do for a living. It's the way I earn my income, is working with business owners and their teams to empower them to produce breakthrough results. Often when we say things like that, people can't quite hear what does that mean. Breakthrough results. What's it? Kind of snake oil. Sometimes mysticism. No, a breakthrough result is a result that you haven't produced before, that you'd love to produce. So those results could be, as business owners, what kind of results would we like to produce that we want to produce but we haven't produced quite yet? What could they be?
More sales. Profit.
Yeah, that'll solve everything, won't it?
Profits.
More sales, improve my profits. What else?
More personal time.
Yeah, you know what? I would appreciate some me time, some time for myself in my life. Yeah. So rather than getting trapped in the business, to be able to pull myself out and create a business that doesn't rely on me in every aspect.
You just said what I would have said.
Oh, that's because you put that thought in my head. That's how powerful you are.
A self-sustaining business.
Yeah, self-sustaining business. You don't feel like you're like on the treadmill. You know, like, and quite often I meet business owners that are having those kind of challenges. What about staff? Anyone here have staff? Yeah. Can't get the right staff. And at times I hear that. Or they don't turn up on time. Or I keep telling them, if you've had staff, one of the things I hear from business owners, I keep telling them the same thing over and over again. And then a new lot come and I tell them, and then they leave and the new lot come. So there could be a breakthrough. So how would that be? Like a breakthrough in that area that's important to you, where your staff just kind of get on with things. And I would challenge myself. Who hired them? Oh, I did. Who did their orientation? I did. Who pays them every month? I do. There might be something here that you might have something to do with these people that are in your organisation. And getting that gets people to go, well, you know what, I feel like there's something I can impact. So how I deal with my staff, how I recruit, how I train them, is something I can be responsible for, as opposed to, oh, it's them out there, can't get the staff. Can't get the staff, or whatever conversation is, I'm not getting enough sales, my business isn't profitable enough. Who hasn't got the right clients? Who got the client? Who's taking their money every couple of months or whatever they pay you, and then we complain about our clients?
I was going to say to you, look, when you were saying what you were getting a higher quality profile client.
Yeah, exactly. But in your area, in your world right now, in your known understanding, they're the clients you attract. Yeah. Which is, on one level, can be quite upsetting. Oh, what, this has got something to do with me? Mm-hmm. Well, but on another level, if it's something to do with you, you can do something about it. You can do something about it. If the sales aren't as high as you'd like them, and they're your sales, I'm going to show you today how you are in direct correlation to the outcome of your actions, which equals your results. And there's something possibly that you don't see that's influencing those results that you could take responsibility for. And when you see those things, you have new actions. And you might start doing things you've never done before, producing results you've never produced before. Hence, breakthrough result. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Now, out there in the commercial world, you could spend thousands to get that kind of information. And the benefit of that long term could be, well, depending on the business you're in, the industry, and it's not just monetary benefit. Having some free time, or half a day a week, or two, however that looks for you, could improve your life. It could help your health, and imagine it improve your relationship with your family and your kids. And the knock-on benefits are infinite value. So part of my promise when I work with business owners and teams is infinite value. In other words, this insight or breakthrough or understanding is all-encompassing, and it can affect any area of your life forever. If you have a breakthrough in sales, well, you can have a breakthrough in getting new dates. Not that you might want that. Or new types of clients, or new areas, or new partners. Because you've learnt something about what it takes to get sales. Well, isn't sales just a conversation? And you master that conversation, you can master the conversation, you get a date. Or business partners, or strategic partners, or I don't know, whatever it is you might be up to. So these things are, once seen, you can't unsee it. You say, oh, I hired these people. I'm rubbish at hiring people. Wow, doesn't feel good, but you know what, I can improve how I hire people. Do you see? So that gives you some options that you didn't have before. And once you get a taste for that, once you get a taste for breakthrough thinking, do you think you're going to go, oh, that's it now, I've got the right stuff, I'll just sit back? I don't think we work like that as human beings. I think once we get a taste for breakthrough, guess what, they're calorie free, they impact you forever, well, why don't you carry on? And that really has led to me working with some of my clients for almost a decade now, some of them. You know, and staying around a business and promising breakthrough ongoingly for 10 years takes something. And what it takes for me personally is to continually be evolving and break through myself. Because if I'm not having the breakthrough, how can I turn up with you and talk about your breakthroughs? Doesn't fit, does it? If I can't sell, how can I make a difference to your selling? Does that make sense?
Yep.
It's like going to a fitness trainer who turns up and goes, right, mate, I want to get fit. Get on that thing there, you know, with the buttons and run for half an hour, I'll be back after I've had a cup of tea and off I go. You wouldn't have any respect for them, would you? You kind of go, well, if you don't sound like it, you don't walk like it, and you're probably not. You know the old saying about a duck. Walks like a duck, sounds like a duck. Well, guess what? Maybe Erkan Ali is the real deal in transformational breakthrough thinking. And I put it to you that I am. I'm going to make a case for that today. So who's with me so far?
Yeah.
Have I said anything's pissed you off already?
Yeah.
Everyone here knows me, I probably have. I'm probably talking to our guests. But this kind of gone, I don't like the sound of that. What do you mean I've got it? The employees are down to me, my money's down to me. It's easy to blame it out there. Who here's recently...
Just get on that, do you come across people who don't get that point that it's down to them?
when you first start, no. Because it really does look like it's over there. No, but my business is different actually. You don't. Thanks for that. In our business, it's in our industry, it's slightly different. You don't understand. Like, oh yeah, go on, carry on. Blah, 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 blah. Oh yeah. It's like that in accountancy. Is it? Oh yeah. Because it's very technical business, and you've got to know all of it. It's very different in our industry. And then you just get them to see, so that's the way they've mitigated their results. Notice you have the result, or you have an explanation why you didn't get the result, don't you? You go out and get a deal, yeah? You're off to get that deal, and your wife or husband gives you that kiss goodbye. Good luck with the deal. You come back, you go, done it! You don't sit there explaining when you come back, well, you know what, they're not quite ready, they don't have the money, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, sometimes it's hard for us as individuals to get our own story. Or to get our own view of the world, because I'm going to show you today how that view is sometimes invisible. Who here wears glasses? You wear them, you put them on, whether they're sunglasses, you put them on for a period of time, and everything gets adjusted, and it's all a bit different, and suddenly you just get used to that view of the world. Then you take them off and you go, oh my God, it doesn't look like that. Well, that view, Immanuel Kant talks about how our filters shape our reality. So instead of us being effective in what we think is reality, actually we're effective in our stories about the reality. What about if your team are the access to a great world? Wow, then how would you view the next person that comes in for a job? What about if your customers or your clients, depends how you frame them, are the access to a new world in some way, in whatever you do? You'd look at them differently, wouldn't you? You'd take care of them differently. You'd invest in the relationship. So notice what stories or reasons or how reasonable you are about the way your results are. And in your own head, what do you want me to do? Levitate? That's what I mean by breakthrough. So some of those results seem impossible, unpredictable. And I know there's people in this community that have come in with certain expectations of what they can and can't achieve, and you wanted to feel for this today, and I think you did as well, is you'll have a view about what you do, what you don't do, what's possible, what isn't possible, what you're good at, what you're not good at. And we disrupt that. We've had people, Jill, that have said, I'll never get in front of the room and speak. Don't ever make me do it. Choice. And before you know it, will you put me in again? I want to do another one. I want to do one. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's like, yeah? And then when you break that stupor or that, I kind of think of it as like a hypnotic state. That you as a kid, we couldn't shut you up. As an adult, I can't talk in front of people. Do you get what I mean? So now you're in a hypnotic state that says, I can't get up in front of people and talk. And then we break that spell of I can't get in front of people and talk, Matthew. Yeah, I mean you. And then you break that spell, and then that spell you realise has been affecting lots of areas of your life. It's not necessarily the thing that you don't want to get up in front of people and talk. No. It's worse, because they will find out how crap you really are. And they ain't going to let anyone find that out. So better just shut up and not say anything. I saw a quote recently that people should be the most afraid of the ones that don't say anything. No. I'll pick it up because he's a member now and he's paying. And I love him. He's a great guy. He is. So, what about if we broke those spells? What about if you said to yourself, I'm the kind of person that gets in front of the room and people's lives change? Well, how would you walk? How would you talk? How would you engage with people? Who would you be would be maybe unrecognisable. And whether that's your staffing, your sales, your marketing, your ability to develop relationships, develop strategic partnerships, be great with your family, your kids, who knows the ongoing impact of that? I'll pretty much finish my talk. I'm going to show you slides in a minute. See, 15 minutes left. Look at that. Eating out of my hand.
Excellent. You can do it again.
No, I'll just do the whole thing, repeat it 3 times. And then the reality is, then there's a practice of it, because you can have an insight. Oh, that's great, light bulb moment. And then there's the moment of actually taking some action, yes? So how we engage with reality is where we get feedback. How many people have ever heard themselves say, well, I tried that before, it didn't work? Yes, come on, put your hands up. You've all said it before. Yeah, I tried that before, didn't work. Who tried? Which Mitch Herber tried?
The lazy one.
Which Mitch Herber? And I'll put it to you, you don't even know who you are. I know. Harsh, right? You think you know who you are because there's so much evidence for it. There's so much evidence that tells you who you are, what's possible, what you can achieve, and then you turn up in a BeCollaboration meeting and then someone's saying this to you. Well, that's why this is so much fun and makes such a difference to people's lives that are here. It's because we're going to change that. So you can, why? Only one reason, so you can reinvent it and have a great life. And then we can collaborate because we're operating from a different level of thinking than we are from the scarcity, for being a competition model that's out there. Why? Because it's more fun. Want to have fun?
Yeah.
You got to put your hand up or not?
Of course.
Is that how you put your hand up?
Don't pick on me. Yeah, it's not going to be.
Yeah, that's not but look, we ask people, what do you like on the menu? Like, oh, I don't know, I'll have a bit of fun. No, I'll have some fun. No, that's how unexpressed we are. The only reason you do that is because you have a concern for what they think of you. Who cares what they think? They don't like you anyway. We really don't know what they think. We really don't know. We really have no idea, looking at Mitch, what he's thinking right now. We have no idea. He's probably thinking, did I leave the oven on? I've had people in introductions like this sit in the back of the room and sleep. That's how good I am. And I think to myself, God, they must be bored, or they're hating what I'm saying. And I go and sleep at the end, I go, you fell asleep? He goes, I knew I'm going to do it. I just fell asleep because I'm in. You really have no idea. But yet we will make a story. Rather than go and go, well, how come you feel? I've been really tired, I love what you're saying, I just dozed off, I'll go and register. You ask someone, do you want some more fun? And they go, yeah, all right, fun too. But that's how self-expressed we are. And then we say, well, no, my life's great, everything's working. Sales, it's just the staff, that's the way that is. Sales are the way they are, profit's the way it is. What can I do about it? What are you getting? Imagine this is what I do with business owners. I walked in one day from work, and Tyler's sitting in the lounge, my oldest daughter. And she was like, oh, Dad, what do you do for a living again? And I was quite she goes, yeah, blah, 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 and then carry on doing what she was doing. It's true, it's all I do. For a living is I talk to people. But the nature of those conversations is such, they reinvent who people are for themselves. And when you reinvent who you are for yourself, you get to take new actions, you start to see things, you see the world in a different light. And suddenly, instead of when someone says, would you like to have some more fun, you go like that, you go, yeah, I'm up for that. Where's this fun then? And then you hold me accountable for that. You say, well, you said we're going to have fun. I want some fun. You said my sales are going to go up. I want to go. Now, who's accountable for the fun and the sales? Ultimately. Who's accountable? You. Now, who's met people like they go through life and let the handbrakes on? Yeah? You've met them? Yeah, well, you're like that in some areas, right? Handbrakes on. All revs and no go. I say I want more action. I say I want more sales. I say I want better clients. I say I want a better relationship with my wife. I say I want to be fit. But the handbrake's on. I'm not going anywhere. I'm in neutral. Revving the engine. A lot of noise. All noise and no, what is it? All fury and blah blah and Shakespeare. I'm trying to correct it.
Oh,
All rich and no vomit.
Oh, Richard Roll.
I don't think that's Shakespeare.
Sorry. So when you work with businesses at that level, what happens is they start to get real, they start to get authentic, and they start to look at themselves, not from a judgmental point of view, like make myself wrong because my profits aren't high enough. Everyone plays that game. You make yourself wrong because your sales aren't high enough. Why? Because you get something out of it. Well, that's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. We get something out of it that's actually worthless to us, but we still invest in it. And we give our power away to the economy, to the market, to the staff, to the whatever. And then we don't produce the results. So the question you might be thinking, what produces breakthrough results? Is that a good question? It's an awesome question. What's going to produce breakthrough results? Who's interested in breakthrough results? Are you sure? Yeah. Okay. So title this talk. A bit more background on me. I'm 48 years old. I'll be 49 in July. And I'm a father of two wonderful daughters, Tyler and Senna. Tyler was named after Tyler Durden from Fight Club. See, some fun there. And she's the most wonderful child, the most delightful child. She's an absolute delight. And then Senna, who's named after Ayrton Senna, is one of my heroes, is 9 years old now. And I live in Hertford, less than 5 minutes walk. And I love my life. My life looks like I drop my kids off some days. Some days I pick them up. Some days I cook for them. Some days I don't see them from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Sometimes I'm doing track days. Sometimes I'm in town. Sometimes I'm with clients. Sometimes I'm starting businesses. Sometimes I'm doing videos. Sometimes I'm meeting with Jill till 10 o'clock at night working on BeColl. Sometimes I'm out in the pub with my mates having a good time. And for me, my life is by design. I absolutely adore my life. I have a huge amount to be thankful. BeCollaboration is something Jill and I have put together and we've created. This is our self-expression, our way of paying it forward. Your life impacted, producing the results you want gives us joy. Why? Why not? What else are we going to do? Might as well make a difference. That's a bit about me. Slightly overweight, needs to get a bit fitter. Oh, did I say I love track days? I like getting in the car and driving, I love that. Love music, I love cooking. Do you want anything else about me? Anyone? Bueller?
I thought you meant running around a track.
Yeah, that's good. So has anyone got a question? I'm gonna point this more to the people that I know. A question you'd like to ask me you've never asked, and any of our guests you're more than welcome to ask me any question about me. So my bit about me is done, and we'll move on. Anything else you want to know about me? I'm Turkish Cypriot background, born in North London. I live in Hertford.
Born in Haringey?
Tottenham, North Middlesex Hospital.
So,
North Middlesex Hospital. So
Okay.
North London boy.
Yeah.
so when did you discover you had this skill?
Which skill?
The skill that you're talking about in terms of helping and seeing other breakthrough moments and realising a breakthrough does make a difference in your life. Because you said, and when you see it, you can't unsee it. So that presumably at some point you were. I'm assuming you you couldn't see what you're doing now.
If I'm really honest with you, I've always had that. And I was having this conversation with Claudia earlier on. I've always felt that I'm special. And I'm not saying I am, I've felt that way. Growing up, I had a very charmed life. My parents have always had, we're not wealthy, but we've always had long holidays, we've had nice homes, I've lived a privileged lifestyle, I've never gone without. And I mean privileged on a global level, I don't mean, we went around in rollers. And I always felt there was something really special about me. And I never gave up on it, David. I went to school. When I went from North London to secondary school in Hertfordshire in Goffs Oak, I went to Goffs Grammar School in 19, whatever it was, I can't remember now, 80s.
Early
90s.
Yeah, I know.
Early 80s.
Yeah. And I remember, I went there, I was 11 and a half odd, I came in the second year, and I walked in, I knew I kind of felt I knew who I was. I had good friends in my old school, I was popular, I was a really funny kid, really nice kid. And I got to school, on the first day of school, a white kid came up to me, punched me in the face and called me a packy.
Oh.
And it destroyed me. And that's when I said, right, I'm either going to sink here or I've got to swim. And I didn't sink, but it did affect me. So if you like, that was a real demarcation point in my life where it's lost innocence, or what you could call like a fragmentation of your being, like your being got altered. And that robbed me of something. And I don't think I really got over that till about 1994. Because before that, every white person I met was racist. That's just the way the world is. And I got that flat, and then yeah, because how could I be in a room full of white people in Hertford if I hadn't, there's only a couple of us ethnics in the room? I couldn't do this, could I? If I had that in the way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if you have some conversation that says money's hard to get hold of, customers are hard work, staff are pain in the ass, well, those network of conversations are going to shape your reality, and you operate with it in them. So for me, I never experienced falling asleep, but I remember a jolt to them. And then that created a new way of being that was about surviving. And the main survival strategy at that age was not getting beaten up and bullied. So I created a way of being that was about being funny and acidic with people. So if you picked on me, you better get it right, otherwise I'm going to ridicule you in front of everyone. If that didn't work, I used to run really fast. And my dad's advice, so remember Turkish Cypriot background, right? So Turkish. My dad's advice wasn't get your head down, study hard, son. My dad's advice was, if someone picks you at school, punch them in the face really hard and run. So I was never I wasn't a victim to it, I was the effect of it.
That's what I told my girls as well.
Is that what you told? You should tell Alan that as well. So, any other questions? Anyone else? Does that answer the question? Yeah. No? Good? That's me, right? Okay, cool. So the title of the talk is Creating a Vision Like No Other. So when we think of vision, what do we think of?
Unique and on a large scale.
So vision big, and it's different to everything else. Okay. What else do you think?
It's like a dream and end result or something.
So there's a result out there in the future, like a
Yeah.
goal,
Yeah.
target.
Your all-encompassing life plan.
Your all-encompassing life plan. So a plan sounds like a plan would have time, milestones, deliverables,
Measurable.
outcomes, measurable, specific measurable.
Aims and objectives.
Aims and objectives, so outcomes. You don't agree with that, do you?
No,
No, I
I
don't
was
think
going to
so.
say knowing.
Knowing, it's a knowing.
Knowing.
It's a knowing? Who
The
goes with that?
vision is the picture, isn't it? The bigger picture. The end, for me,
Yeah.
it's like the end result, the bigger picture.
So how are we going to
The
create,
dream.
what about this like no other? Because you titled it, and I went, I'll go with that. How do you create a vision that really does inspire you like no other?
It's something within. It's something specifically for you, for me.
So if
it's unique. Every.
if I pardon me, but if I cut you open, something in you, and I went rummaging around.
You cannot see it. It's a feeling.
I think it's a life purpose.
Do you know what feeling is? It's basically electronic
Okay.
signals going around your body.
Right. Maybe that's,
Is that a
that's
vision?
not it. I just feel it's not explainable.
Oh, it's not explainable.
You
So if we say it's not
there.
explainable, then I've got to send you all home with nothing to add to.
You can't send it.
But seriously, if you've got a vision and you want people to buy in it and you can't explain it, do you think that'll impact your ability to have that vision live out in the world?
And I think, well, I would have the vision, but it is finding a way to package that vision that it, you know, it can be explained and understood by those around you.
Okay. Scott, and then Colin, and then Dave. And I'll come in.
Your driven purpose.
You're driven. That's a smart answer, isn't it? That's like, I've been around a few of these things now. I'm going to say that.
It's Scott's answer.
Harsh. Yeah.
Also,
Well, I'm in flow.
that's why I'm holding his phone.
Still harsh.
Quick close up, Scott.
No, but seriously, Scott, what do you mean a driven purpose? What do you mean by that? Because I bet you, if there's 20 people in the room, they would have heard that slightly different.
Yeah, so because I think the vision is something we gloss over, you know, we, from my way, you know, we market it up or whatever like that. I mean, when it comes to it, you really know what your vision is. It's a purpose that's come from deep. You know, I know what my vision is for me, but it's a real driven purpose.
Yeah, and I think there's something
because
that.
there's nothing going to stop me from trying to get that outcome that I want or produce.
But I think it's
what
interesting what you said, because in the marketing world, visions are exploited, aren't they? That's why we have a cynicism to that kind of terminology. Colin, please.
So, it's for me a vision is it's a picture of something in the future, but it's rooted from within yourself. So, if you can actually see a picture, you're the person in it. It's based around something you do, something special that you bring to it. Otherwise, it's not your vision; it's just a vision. Yeah, like
So you're distinguishing between maybe a personal vision and maybe a group wider community, or
yeah, but even in a so if there's a BeCollaboration vision, we would have if we actually are engaged in that, then we have our version of it that's actually about how we're going to be in that vision.
so you have a self. So you can be part of a bigger vision that you express personally.
Yeah, because I worked in BT and other companies and with vision stuff, and it was just completely meaningless because it wasn't actually connected to anybody at all.
So in a way, your vision has to be something you connect with.
Yeah, and I don't, and it might be, your vision may not be a life vision, it may not be a big long-term vision, it's just the next thing you want to get to.
Okay. Dave?
Yeah, listening for me, I'm listening to others. For me, it's like an energy. So I think it's a type of idea that I have. So I have this sort of feeling, and then it sort of sparks at me, and then I think of the words, and then the words of describing that energy actually then called a vision, which can be applied to something. But for me, it's just an idea I have of how the future might be that energises me, and I go, yeah, I want some of that.
Who likes that one? And was it?
Tom, yeah. It's just my response to Joyce's one, that it comes from inside and then you've got to find the words to express it. For me, I put it the other way around, that if it's a true passion and that vision is your passion, then people will understand because you get stuck here. If it's a true passion, then the means of expressing it and for other people to understand will just be there because it comes straight from it. The words come out.
So,
except when you're being asked questions.
Yeah, exactly. But I think what you're saying is there's a level of authenticity where it can't help but come out in some ways. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say, in my opinion, what it's not. In my opinion, and it's what I do for a living. Right. So this kind of educated opinion. You can agree. Who could agree? You could disagree, and you could go away and think about it. So you can do what you like. So I don't think it's goals. I think very often this is very misunderstood, especially in coaching. And what I call, I don't want to say, I'm going to say lazy coaching, but kind of a certain level of coaching is right. Let's sit down and talk about your sales goals, your profit goals, your team goals, and then we sit down and write a load of goals. I don't do goals. Targets is another one. It isn't that for me. It isn't a survival strategy. How often I hear people talk about a new vision, but it's like the next fix. The next fix is going to solve everything. It isn't about making it. See, when it's that, it's not a vision. If I've created a vision about me surviving or making it, it's not a vision, is it? Something else, in my opinion. Fixing it. Right, I'm going to go in and fix this team, they're all useless, they turn up late, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix my income. So it works. I don't think that's a vision either. And I don't think changing it, just a matter of, let's change this, because change doesn't afford for me what I think of as a vision. And they're kind of common answers that I hear often when I work with business owners. They kind of come up with those ideas. And the new hope.
No.
You know, this will sort it. We'll buy this bit of technology, or we'll connect with this group, or we'll ally ourselves with this other organisation. That will solve it. The new hope for our business. You know, and it isn't that either. I don't think. So, when we think of a really new vision, when we talk about inventing something, I want you to consider that we're not free in that moment. Because if I say to you, right, let's make more profit, or let's do more sales, let's get the right staff, what's right there about that for you? Any challenge or opportunity, you're going to go off into the future with this hope and aspiration for something bigger and better. But what you've got to contend with straight away? Your attachment, okay. To what though? But I really want it has to happen, I need to have it, there's that kind of attachment.
Your favourite word, filters.
Okay. What could those filters be? Where do those filters go?
Pre-programming.
Pre-programmed. So you're going to contend with that. So
Past experience.
Exactly. I want you to consider something in the way. There's something in the way that blocks your view.
Alan.
I caught Alan coming out of the shower. I was getting this tool ready and I put in the thing blocking my view and I found that. So there's something blocking your view, because when you think about new sales figures, if you could work it out right now, you'd have done it.
You're going to have to do something completely different.
You're going to have
to done before.
Exactly. So straight away you've got to contend with all your past about profit.
It's the Einstein thing.
If you keep
do the same thing, expect different results, the first sign of insanity.
But how often do we just do the same thing over and over again trying to get different results? Don't we?
Yeah.
I want new sales, so I'll make 10 more phone calls than I normally do this week. That'll make more sales. I want better staff, I'll be tougher with them. That's not going to work out, right? These days you can't be tough with anyone. They go, yeah, whatever mate, I'm off. So there's something in the way, and it's kind of big and it's ugly, it's usually to do with your past. So that past thinking, that past framing, that past undistinguished past is shaping and running the show. So there's no freedom. So therefore, already we say we're going to the new hope or the new goal, and already you know you're not going to do it. Who's set themselves going back to the New Year's resolutions? That's why they don't work. Because who's setting the goal is the person that's always set that goal. So when you reinvent your view of who you are in the world, then you take new actions that you've never taken before, and that produces the breakthrough result. So you've got files and files and files of history. On every unit of conversation, decision, conclusion, experience. Imagine Erkan Ali, whatever the year that was I went to that school, got punched in the face and called Packy, and then decided that all white people are racist. Where would my life be now? I promise you it wouldn't be here. If I had that going on. Big, tall, white man with no hair. I'd hate you straight away.
Scary.
So I said it, I had to say
Are
it.
you heightist as well?
Well, yeah, of course. Tall, white, bald. God, that's all the, that's enough for me to just,
He's not completely
No.
well, yeah.
On the way, mate.
But you see, you're never free of the past, because you'll have reactions to things, and most of the time when people are talking to you, it's just their past talking. It's just their past talking. They just pull out a file. Oh, you said something earlier on. This is how these meetings go. So you might as well. You want to experience it. You said, I'll see how it goes, and I might be part of this. That's a past file, so just don't jump in like that, Or it could be, I need to understand things before I commit. Or I need to know this is really real before I commit. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Mm-hmm. And all of that is your past programming. To save you, to protect you, so you can survive. And it's invisible, and it happens like that, in a moment, in an instant. Boom. You think about making a sale, it's just the past Matthew trying to make a sale. Struggling, being unreasonable, trying to take more action. It's never going to transform until you reprogram it. So you've got to find the file, and amongst all these other files, it tells you your parents weren't good enough, and your siblings are that, and and find the one that says, am I called in groups? Pull it out. Who's running on Windows 95? Take that file, go, thanks very much, floppy disk, and put in a brand new, and you go, wow, the world looks different. Bit of Matrix here. Matrix where plug him in, learns karate, like that.
the hardest ones I find is when that file belongs to someone else.
Exactly.
Ah.
Exactly. They imposed.
So everyone in the world thinks that way, and then you go, well, actually, is that really the cause? Do I need to delete that? Everyone is believing that, and that's when I think groups like this are really empowering, because I come here and express like this.
Yeah.
Am I safe to say this?
Spot on.
And then you go, and everyone goes, that's amazing. I've been thinking that, but I haven't had the courage to say it. And then you think,
That's spot on. And we have, and we call that, in some ways, you call that culture. We call that memes. You know, Asian cultures.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
she's a
Why am I?
big
I'm a soul living a human experience, that's what I am.
Did the button touch? Did the button
There's a button touch.
That's so funny. He writes
So, okay,
about it
okay.
every
All
day
the
on Facebook.
all the ethnics in the room, just stick with me, right? Did you ever knock on your white friend's house when they're having dinner? You go to your white friend's house as an ethnic, you go on your way, so you go like, hi, it's Erkan, open the door and say, oh, Johnny's having his dinner right now, do you want to wait here while he's having his dinner? Close the door. Fuck you, I'm off. You come to my house, dinner time, yeah? Oh, it's Erkan. Come here, we're eating, come in. Come in, hungry. Sit down, this burnt meat tastes really nice. So what's shaping your vision? It's these filters. And Immanuel Kant, K-A-N-T, said that our filters shape our perception. You forgot you're wearing a filter. And you have filters for lots of subjects, lots of areas, all neatly worked out and all packaged and pre-programmed, so you can survive any opportunity that comes your way. A great relationship, a new business opportunity, a new business opportunity. Whenever it gets risky, or whenever you think you've got to do a bit of fight or flight, they kick in. They're there, right there, to save you from being exposed as a fraud, as a failure, not good enough, I can't make it in this group. How often, Jill, do people come up and say, I love BeCollaboration, it's awesome, but what can I contribute? I've got nothing to contribute. Do you like, are you mad? You're a living, breathing human being. You're stardust personified. You're the life force of the universe, and you've got nothing to contribute. How could you even say that? Not here. We need you. We want you. We want to make the best of you. Together it makes me better. Awesomer. I don't care it's not in English language, I'm making it up. So these filters are really all pervasive and for the most part invisible. We don't know they're there. And if someone doesn't challenge you on it, you're going to live with them and die with them. It's not until that someone like me, Jill, and this community is committed to going, hey man, you said that, but you can be better than that. You go, you know what, I can, I will. And then you go and do it, and you come back and go, do you know what, when I got that deal and I landed it, it was easy. I go, there you go. Has that improved your profits? And you go, yeah. Got it? That's what's available. You heard it from the horse's mouth. And we videoed it, so it's true. So those filters are there. So, what shows up? Mini Coopers. Remember, track days. Mini Coopers. Who here has ever bought a car and suddenly there's loads of them everywhere, isn't there?
Oh
Yeah?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah? Notice that? That's called your filter is exposing what you're looking for. Do you know what I'm getting at? Yeah? So if you're looking for the greatness in others, including David Neese, because there's got to be something in there somewhere. I know, John, I know you said that we should give up on this one. Let's give it one more go.
He's a human being.
He's a human being. So I don't meet you and go, hey, I'm Erkan, what do you do? I'm an accountant, blah. I couldn't care less about that, or whatever it is you do. I want to know who this guy is. This is Dave Hadley. Amazing human being. You a parent?
Yeah, as of last year.
That's how we view you. That's how we view our members. Awesome people. Even you know. Now, if you look at a world like that, you'll see awesome people everywhere. Linda Bunce, Alan Brown. Imagine if I looked at you when I first met you and thought, oh, tall white bloke, about to go bald. Do you think that would have put...
He's got a thing about baldness.
I have. Well, Sasha is a big example. But imagine if I had that going on about you and I didn't know I had that. Do you think that puts something in the way? And if I want to find racism, trust me, I've spent from the age of 14 to 26 seeing it everywhere. Sorry, to 12, sorry, to whatever. I could find racism. I'd go in a shop and the lady would look at the £5 note, and she might be doing that all day long, but couldn't she stay with me? It's because she's racist. If you were in the car, Simon, you cut me up in traffic, bloody racist. Yeah? So, you will find what you have a concern for in the world. It's either default or it's created, and it's a stand. There's nothing that actually says you're a great person. I have no idea, do I? I don't, do I? There's just some bloke who's walked into my room and you're sitting there thinking about being part of this community. I have no idea, but my commitment is that you're awesome. Because around me, awesomeness shows up. That's what I'm committed to. And sometimes it doesn't always work out. You get that, don't you, Simon? That's my stand. When I woke up this morning, I was tired, irritable, and I just want to go back to sleep and forget about all you lot. And I hadn't prepared this talk.
You said it out loud.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't need to. I don't need to because I'm a master. My commitment to making a difference to people is so big, no obstacle's going to get in the way of that. I'm ready, I'm prepared, I'm here for you. Do you see that certainty? So I see the Mini Coopers everywhere. I see opportunity, I see possibility, I see great people I want to connect with and do work with. Because I'm looking for it. Nothing says that they are that or they're not that, but I'm looking for it. And that context creates my experience. And it creates me as who I say I am for myself and others. And I create the context for myself, courageous and compassionate leader, transforming the human experience. That's who's talking to you now. Not Erkan Ali with the 2 kids, lives in Hertford, likes going around the track, and a couple of drinks now and again. That's my personality, my character. My stand as a leader is that when people are in a room with me, they get the opportunity to transform their experience of life. And I don't think there's a higher calling than that for me. You may have a different calling, but that's my calling. So I see possibility everywhere. Mini Cooper's one right outside.
That's funny.
There's a Mini right outside. See, you could go, whoa, that's weird. We go, yeah, so what? No, I'm looking for minis, they're everywhere. So, starts with your being. Who are you going to be? Who are you going to invent yourself as, free of the past? And that will shape the way you view the world. The way you see a 6 foot something guy who happens to be white and slightly, they're not there. Now do I walk in and go, bloody racist? I go, wow, it's a new human being coming to our world. What could happen? What opportunities are going to befall us? That's what I see. You getting a sense of what happens in these meetings?
Yeah, in a sense.
And then that view will shape the way I interact with people. And if I'm going to be courageous and compassionate, it means I will say things that most people won't say to you. It's a risk. Because you may go, screw you, I'm out of it. Or you may go, man, this is awesome. That's the risk. That's the risk when you put yourself out. Claudia, when you put yourself right out. It's a risk. Your past tells you, don't be crazy, don't be a fool, don't put yourself that far out. But you want more sales. You want a great team. You want fantastic clients. And you sit back and kind of, what, it's going to happen by magic? No, you've got to put yourself out. And if you have a view of the world, there's possibility everywhere, you take the actions that fit that view, you produce the results that you've never produced before, and guess what? That gives you fulfillment. And guess what? When you get fulfilled, you go, well, I'm going to have some more of that. And it starts self-perpetuating. It's like self-perpetuating, what's that called? What are those motors that
Perpetual motion.
Perpetual motion. It is perpetual motion. It feels like that. I'm not putting this on for your entertainment. This is me. In what I consider to be my authentic self-expression. I don't care if you love it, I don't care if you hate it, I have an interest that you are empowered by it, but I'm not asking for your agreement, I'm not asking for your adoration or none of that. I'm just here because that's my commitment. And between action and results, there's interplay. You take action, there's an outcome. You take action, there's an outcome. That's giving you the feedback. That's not it, that's not it, that's not it. Bing, 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 that's it. New sales, new profits, new team, new friends, new life. But people don't take the action. They don't really see the action as an outcome of their thinking or their being. And it just goes round, and you learn, and it's a practice. It's a practice. So, my final message, am I bang on time? Another 30 seconds? How good am I, eh?
I'll give you 30 seconds.
30 seconds. So, I'll leave you with this thought. If there's any area in your life you're not producing the result you'd like, being part of something, producing your sales figures, getting the profit you want, the team you want, the right people around you, it's a function of you. It's just, all it is reality giving you back a mirror of where you're at. And sometimes that's not nice. You don't like it. But hey, in this space, that's what we're playing on. That's what we're playing with. How do we adjust those beings to produce the results that you want for your kids, for your family, for your clients, for your team members, for your for the wider community, for our society as human beings? And that's really the game of BeCollaboration, is how do we nurture that, and then what can we create off the back of that? What business opportunities, what dreams could we create? We're going to talk about dreams a bit later on. And how do we make that long-lasting impact on people's lives? And that is BeCollaboration and me, Know and Be Known session. Thank you very much. Any questions?
I got one, okay?
Yes, please, Mitch.
My grandfather went through life not trusting people. He never gave anyone credit. He was always worried about be careful, be safe. Whereas I tend to do the opposite, which is give people credit. I trust them. I want to have faith in people, and I think it's a very positive way to treat life. Of course, you get hurt every now and then, but I think it's a better approach to life, to the view. But perhaps the best approach is to have a balance of the two.
But is that a question or is that a statement?
Both. Are you half full or are you half empty? Which is somewhere in between.
That's still not a question, though, is it?
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Do you agree?
I would frame it differently. So, in my commitment to make a difference, I don't give away my power. I don't necessarily alter my my credit policy. So, for example, if I did some work for you and you're going to pay me, my credit policy is clear. You want me to work with you? Here's your bill. Pay it. I'll start working with you. Simple as that. If you haven't got the money and you want to put a deal together, pitch me an idea. I may or may not do it. In my experience, it generally doesn't work, but sometimes I may take a fly on someone. And then that's my choice. So that's a choice as opposed to a survival strategy, whereas you go, don't trust anybody, all white people are, staff are, profits are, those stories, or you know what, I'm going to, look, I heard this saying years ago, you either resist or become your parents. You either resist becoming or you become your parents. So you either do the total opposite of them because that's how they used to do it, and then you do it some way, which is a reaction to what was. But very often it's never really choice. So inside of context, created context, you go, well, you know what, I have faith in humanity, I want to make a difference, and here's my credit policy. And I will lose 3% a year for bad luck. And then that's a strategy. That's just not a way of being by the past. It's something you've actually created, invented, and made agreements with people. So that's different. So no, I don't agree with you.
Okay. The reason I'm saying is that when I meet someone, I meet you, for example, from scratch, brand new, I want to believe that you're positive, you're honest and so on. And I carry on believing that until the opposite is proved.
Yeah.
It's not always the most sensible policy.
No.
It works for
But
me
you've
as a
got to
person.
listen to your gut instinct.
Intuition.
Yeah, when you meet people, you
Look.
can't just have a carte blanche.
No, of course. But I try to.
Look, I think in my way, the way I look at it is people lie, people tell you things they don't. People they tell you things they don't even believe. They tell you the truth. Yes, it's such a mixed bag. I think you're just going to work out, well, how am I going to approach, say, billing, and put your strategy together, and then see if it works or not. You know, and sometimes we've all given clients work for free, haven't we? Mm-hmm. Sometimes, and sometimes we charge. We want to have record-breaking deals, so that I'll get clear about when you're doing it and when you're not rather than an all-encompassing strategy.
I think as well, it's going back to the philosophy of who you're attracting, and if you want to attract the right sort of clients, then you will be, your cup's going to be half full, isn't it? So it's who is around you, and if you're sceptical of people and distrusting of people, that's what you're giving out, so that's probably the sort of people that you're going to be attracting. So,
well, go back to if all white people are racist, you're going to find white racist people everywhere. If all people are mistrusting, you can't trust them. That's all you'll say.
So my philosophy is your philosophy. I trust everybody, but I'm surrounded by amazing people, so it's easy to trust everybody for me. And I'm never, so far, never disappointed. Going back to what your definition of what's a vision for you, I personally, I think a vision for me is what is. Although it's over there, it's just not happened yet, but it is. So therefore, I don't go, wouldn't it be nice if I'd love to do that? My vision is there and it's going to happen. It's just I haven't worked out how it's going to happen.
Well, it's slightly different to what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is your vision is a right now context. So a creative and compassionate leader transforming the human experience isn't something out there in the future, it's right now influencing me. So everything I've done and said in this last 45 minutes was influenced by that filter. And then when I switch off and I go down, there may be some other filters, because I'm going to go off to Manchester in a minute. There'll be some other filters maybe. I think you're looking to have some fun and an adventure, blah, 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 yeah? So it is right now in the moment that those things happen. That's where they get transformed. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Erkan. That was really good.
So, next month, Erkan will be doing the masterclass in February between 2 and 3 o'clock. So if anybody wants to get on there, it's only 6 spaces, give us a shout. Obviously I'll put an email out to the wider community as well, 2 till 3 o'clock before the next meeting in Hertford. Meanwhile, we're going to have a quick break. We have some hot water there if you're after tea, and Linda's just gone to get some fresh coffee. And could you be back in your seats in 15 minutes, please? Thank you very much.
Did you stop it, Scott?
Yeah.
It still says, I think, does that mean it's still recorded?